Dude, I saw these mics today when I went and took pictures. My boss showed me like the mics he bought to mic up just coaches. He said he got them for like $150. Beautiful, like the mics that we've been seeing. It was so like amazing to just touch them.
Wait, what do you mean the mics? Oh,
I think they're like gold. Nope, that's the vitamins we were just talking about.
Listen, a few more paychecks, I could get us some. Yeah, a couple more. Maybe after getting a table for us to eat at,
maybe after that
I could get us some mics. However, if the mics lead to good content, then the mics could get us a table. So which do you get first? But alrighty, guys, welcome back to the Cellar Podcast. We're your hosts, Sam Marie
and Gia Angelina,
and this is episode 20. Oh,
this is unprofessional.
Oh, Brian. We use Brian's MacBook, and literally nobody gets more text messages in and out than he does. Okay.
Brian might be the most popular man I know.
Yeah, he's definitely the most popular man I know.
He's always been like that too. All right, no more hype in his head. That's enough.
Yeah, we gotta stop talking about him so much. Okay.
This is Pine Cellar Girls episode 28.
28.
Will you lead us into the discussion because...
I felt like we could use the kind of what's going on the internet right now as a transition to talk about relationships, what those look like, any thoughts or advice we have. But I feel like everybody's probably seen recently the whole bringing back the drama from Emma Chamberlain and Ethan Dolan when they dated back. I don't know how long ago that would have been.
Maybe during COVID?
During COVID time. But yeah, they were they had the sister squad and they were making all of the videos and then everybody was shipping them. But Emma just released an episode back in November. I don't know why all of a sudden it's catching waves. Yeah, because it was back in November. I wanted to listen to it when I saw everything come up. And I was like, gee, I think she deleted it. And she was like, after a day or so, she was like, I found it, but it was posted back in November.
It was Emma Chamberlain's What My Meltdowns Have Shown Me on her Anything Goes podcast on Spotify. She posted it November 7th.
Yeah. And now all of a sudden everybody's kind of talking about, who they believe she's talking about in it, which they believe she's talking about Ethan Dolan, and now it's just everywhere. It's on my TikTok, it's on Instagram, it's everywhere. But I actually ended up listening to the episode this morning while I was at the gym. So I was like, I gotta see what's going on now that I know the episode exists.
I didn't finish it. I got maybe 15. I want to say 15, but maybe even less than that minutes left.
Yeah, honestly, you might have made it through most of what everybody's talking about. But Emma just kind of brings up how she had this 9-month relationship with a boy. He was her first love. She was so invested. She thought this man was her soulmate, as many people do with their first love. Then she was talking about kind of how they broke up. It had gotten toxic, blah, blah, blah. And then afterwards, they decided to be friends again. But then they were friends who would hook up from time to time. And then she was like, I knew I shouldn't have been doing it. I knew I was going to get my feelings hurt. And what happened? I got my feelings hurt.
I love to hear it, though, because Emma Chamberlain's podcast is very much the feminine point of view.
Yeah.
Even though she says in her podcast in this exact episode that she was like, getting into this relationship with this man, and she never name dropped, but that's the whole drama right now is everyone's assuming it's Ethan Dolan.
Yeah.
She was like, getting into my very first relationship with a man kind of proved to myself that I am feminine and I am worthy of male affection and love and just the fact that I am a woman. And she said she didn't feel like that for a very long time, but listening to that episode, I don't know if she grew into it, she stepped into it, whatever, but she is very much the feminine point of view now.
Yeah, I think so. She is so relatable, so real, very authentic from her feminine point of view. And she's this fashion mogul.
She was also, I think, how our last podcast we talked about the list of like fashionable celebrities to watch or whatever. I think she's was on it.
Yeah.
But she's also been in Vogue. I'm 99% sure.
Yeah. She does the Met Gala. Have you seen her Met Gala interviews?
Yeah.
She does those every year. She eats at the Met Gala. She always looks good too.
I love that when creative parents have creative kids, because her dad's an artist too.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's just like it's in your blood, like that's why you're so good at it, and it just comes so naturally.
Yeah. What did you think about the situation, the relationship, after listening to it?
I think so. Sammy kind of already covered it a little bit, how they were very off and on. From Emma's point of view, she was just absolutely absorbed in this man. She said in the episode, this man had his fingers in every single crevice of her brain.
Yeah.
And I think that was such a good like analogy or metaphor to use, because that's such a teen. I don't know. I haven't really experienced love in my 20s yet. I just kind of got here, but that's such a teen love. Like all the love that I've experienced so far is I'm like completely just absorbed in it. And this man does have his pinky toe in my fucking brain folds. And it just, I can't ever escape it, because I just constantly keep going back to whatever relationship I've been in.
Yeah. But I like the way she talks about it too. It feels very mature, and that she's come to understand what it was for herself. And I found it interesting how much kind of hate Ethan Dolan is getting now, because I feel like the way she explained it, there was not meant to be that response.
Right. She took very much accountability for herself.
Yeah.
And the internet did what the internet does. And it just like the whole episode, she was like, he told me to my face that he was seeing other women, and I still continued to have sex with him. I still continued to like stay at his house when I knew it would just continue to break my heart. She said she was never the type of person to lash out and just be publicly like mad or angry and let things get to her. She shattered her phone twice because of this situation.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting the way the internet ran with it, because I thought he must have done something really, really bad, which of course, obviously he sounds like he was very, very immature at the time. Of course, she was probably immature at the time, as they were 16, 17. Right. I mean, even if they were 18, but
I'm 20 years old, and I've never like related to something like this. I was doing things like this when I was 15, 16 years old. I'm still doing things like this at 20 years old, where a man can look at me in my face and say, hey, I'm having sex with other women. Okay. Like, let me buy you lunch. I don't care. Okay. Are you going to stay like with me though? Or are you going to come fucking listen to me rant about the gym session I just had? Like, that's all I care about, until it's not all I care about. And then I'm sitting on my floor, rocking back and forth.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that is, I really, and to hear like how people relate to her, I really appreciate the stance she took and the maturity that she took in really explaining it. I guess I probably have a harder time relating to it, just because I've been blessed with having a pretty healthy relationship. And my first love was my soulmate, is my soulmate. So my experience has certainly been different, but I also just had a little bit of a different mindset when I started dating and like talking to boys, because I just had plans for myself. I knew what my end goal was, and a man wasn't a part of it. And Brian, I just stumbled upon him. It just happened.
Let's talk about that, because every like conversation Sammy and I have had about just her giving me advice, or me just kind of like subtly ranting about whatever I got going on, she would just, it sounds like you've come just from such a strong, like your mom just taught you off rip, and then your dad probably just set a really good example that you do what you need to do, and then if a man comes along and he contributes, that's great, you know what I mean? And if he's not, then who the fuck cares?
Yeah I don't know if there was much of like intentional teaching, but I think I just saw that my mom has a job and can take care of herself, and you know, gets to go out and see her friends still, and then be at home with her family, and then go to work. And and she can financially handle all of it, I was like, okay, that's what I'll do. I'll be my own independent woman. And then growing up with my dad, and especially more so, a lot of this is later in life too, when I got to college or even afterwards, if he is there and I need something done, most of the time I can just ask. If I need help, if I need my car taken somewhere and I'm like, Dad, will you help me? Will you go with me? He'll come with me. He'll drop everything. If I need help cooking dinner, he's going to cook dinner. If I want him to take the trash out and I ask him, he's probably going to take it out. So that was my example of how a man should be. You know, I'm asking you for help and you help me. That's what a partner should be. And then seeing my mom again, she can work, she can take care of herself, get herself the things she wants to spend her money on. So yeah, I also was just, when I was in first grade, I won this President's Award and I just knew where life was headed for me. You know, like I knew where I was going. So when we got to the age of dating, I remember I had a lot of friends who were like, oh, I want a boyfriend. I never saw that for myself because I was in West Virginia and I was just thinking my goal is to head back down south, so I don't need to get attached to anybody here. But yeah, then Brian happened. It wasn't obviously perfect. We were teenagers. I remember when we first started talking, he had like a little slip up and he went to this party, made out with some other girl. He pulled me aside at lunch.
In Central?
Yeah. And he was like, hey, I got to talk to you about something. I already know what happened. Like, I already know. But he's like, I got to talk to you about something. I was like, okay. He's like, I kissed so-and-so. And I was like, okay, well, I mean, I kissed so-and-so the other week. Like, we're not official. What do you want me to do with that, Brian? And he was like, okay. And so then he made it official because I set boundaries.
At lunch?
Yeah, no, not at lunch. He asked me to come to your Thanksgiving then, your family's Thanksgiving. It would have been like the first time I ever showed up, I think. And then afterwards, he was like, okay, let's make it official.
Okay, be my girlfriend, please.
Yeah, let's not kiss other people.
Right.
But yeah, so I definitely got very lucky.
Nice. So it sounds like you just were very much led by example.
Yeah,
It was just understood off rip, like, this is how the best way to function. I see my parents doing this really cool thing, you know, but just no brainer.
Yes and no. I don't think I got a good example of relationships from my parents. But I think I could see what good individual traits were occurring, and I took them and ran with them.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like Brian and I had our first love heartbreak and breakup because we did take a beat for a moment.
I remember,
and that felt like my world was ending.
I remember coming down the steps one time, and I think this must have been when you guys broke up, and Brian was just sobbing. And I've never seen my brother cry before. I mean, I've seen him cry a couple times, but never like this. And my mom came downstairs, and that's how I knew it was serious, when she was like, can you just give us a minute? And it was just like, wow.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
It's so sad coming back and hearing the perspectives, because when Brian and I took our break, I was in Savannah, so I didn't see the ripple effect afterwards. I didn't see any of that.
My mom had full like belief you guys were getting back together.
Yeah, that year she sent me something on Valentine's Day. I think she sent me something on Easter.
My mom loves doing that.
Yeah. I think I had full belief too. It was just, and maybe this can lead us, because I wrote a question like talking about personal growth and how if that's ever affected a relationship for you, having to go through your own personal growth. Do you feel like that has taken you out of relationships before?
I feel like,
or do you feel like you can do the personal growth with the relationship?
I feel like as I'm getting older and more mature, I am trying to communicate like my needs to whoever, like my significant other in whatever situation. When I was younger, I'd probably say like within the past 2 years, like I've started to implement, okay, let me like express my feelings. Before that, I would turn my phone over and disappear. If I felt like this isn't me, this isn't the way I normally function, or this just like my chest hurts, something feels wrong, like I know this is not, I need to handle something, I need to figure out why I'm letting you make me feel like this, I would take you out of the equation.
Okay.
Until I could come back, or I would just not come back.
Okay.
And then it would just be like, why did you stop talking to me? Why did you stop answering my text messages? I just had to handle some shit.
Yeah.
Now it's more like when I feel like uncomfortable with something that you did, or maybe I did something and I could see it made you uncomfortable, I'm gonna ask you about it, or I'm gonna tell you about it.
Yeah.
That's the goal, and that's what I've been trying to do.
Definitely.
But I definitely am not fully there, because
you're also 20.
Yeah. I like the most recent relationship I was in, he would say something to me and then he would look at me and be like, what's wrong? I said, nothing's wrong. He said, your entire energy, your demeanor has changed. There's something wrong and you're not expressing it. I was like, okay, you're right. You said this and it made me realize how bad of a person I am and I need to do better, but I just feel bad. Like,
oh no. Okay, there's nothing that you're doing that means you're a bad person.
It wasn't anything like that, but it definitely this last relationship I was in, he definitely like checked me a few times and made me realize I needed to do better as like just a person and a woman. So
okay.
It felt good. Like, I'm glad he did it, but like
it hurt off rip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think certainly communication is, I mean, it's the most important in your friendships, in your relationships, with your family. You cannot exist in life without communication. But sometimes that's kind of where Brian and I had gotten into, was there was repetitive same fights about issues with communication, our communication styles, not understanding one another. Brian being scared to fully communicate how he was feeling because he didn't want to like step on my toes or make me upset about anything. So we had big issues with communication, and it just piling. And go ahead.
Was there like a moment, like was there something that was made you guys realize, okay, like we need to practice good habits, or do you feel like it just formed over time?
It definitely formed over time. And I was often the one to bring up the concerns about what was going on. And Brian just wanted to kind of keep the peace. And he was like, oh, yeah, okay. And he'd agree. And then the next day, the same thing's happening again. Mm-hmm. So Brian and I were incrementally getting there's more tension and more tension and more tension. And then there's more tension for me because I got all this stress going on. And we reached a point. It was a very scary point because dating somebody like Brian, I'm like, I'm going to lose everybody when I tell him I can't do this anymore, because everybody loves Brian. But then I went to PA school and I was like, oh shit, I could make some more friends.
People love me for me too without Brian.
Yeah. I was like, so even if everybody hates me after I make this judgment call for us, it's okay, because I can meet new people. I can pick up all my shit, move somewhere, and make new friends. So that was when I just got to a point. I was like, I called Brian, and I was like, the first thing I said on the phone, I was like, do you think this is still working for us? And he was like,
is he sick?
It's just quiet, and he's like, no.
Aww.
So we were at the same point. We needed to do some personal growth on our own because we had been together since the age of 15.
Right.
Which is I think it's pretty important if you're together from such a young age to kind of take a step back and be like, does this make sense forever? And so we did that. I did some personal growth on my own. So did Brian. We both were like in therapy separately, trying to work our brains out. And then I saw him again when I felt better mentally, and he felt better mentally, and we were like, should we do this again? Yeah. And then we were back together.
And now you're 3 houses deep with
3 houses deep,
animals.
3 kids. animals.
And his little sister living in your house.
Hell yeah.
And we have a podcast.
Hell yeah. But yeah, I think sometimes personal growth has to come separately.
I think that's the season of life that I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
Is just, I got to figure out how to be by myself officially.
Yeah. Hanging out by yourself. Doing.
There was a point in my life, like going into college, where was big on being by myself, and it kind of like set me up a little bit for success of like having myself to lean back on. But it really was like phone was on do not disturb at least 20 hours a day. You know what I mean? I was in my room by myself. I would really only see would only talk to my mom, my family, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that just comes with, I was changing my environment. I was actually like getting serious about my education. I was, I don't know, trying to handle business and set me up for success. I would take myself on little do-do-do-do's all the way out to Pittsburgh by myself. I learned a lot of confidence in that era.
Yeah. It's good to do it so young too.
Right. It felt good. It definitely was a confidence builder, just learn how to be by myself, because now it's like I went to church by myself today and my mom was like, "Oh, you're going by yourself?" I was like, "Yeah." Yes, I am going by myself.
I'm doing this.
And the lady at church told me the seats next to her were taken, and I just was like, "Okay." I didn't sit at your table anyways.
I'll sit somewhere else, ma'am. I just came to praise Jesus.
Yeah, literally.
Oh man. Okay, but hey, you did it.
I took it like a champ, You
did.
Okay.
Oh man. That would have hurt my feelings for a second.
Just like I literally was just like
tears like coming out of your eye. Yeah, I feel like I didn't learn how to be by myself until Brian and I took that moment. I was in Savannah, COVID happened, and I was like, oh fuck, what do I do now? I'm really by myself. But I also had Thor, so that was helpful.
That first breakup that you guys occurred,
first and only.
Yeah. You said it felt like what Emma was describing in her podcast, how she was just utterly like,
yeah, I felt
distraught,
ruined. I felt so ruined. I didn't tell anybody. Didn't tell my parents, because again, there was so much fear in it. Just again, Brian is very much like a golden boy, and I love him for it. But at the time, it was really scary. And so I was like, well, my dad loves him. I was like, is my dad still going to love me after I tell him this? Or like, and obviously I know looking back now, of course, all these people are still going to care about me. But at the moment, I was like, I'm going to lose everybody that I care about. But I didn't. And everybody, commends me for what I did, including Brian, because we all agreed it was necessary. Like it had gotten to a point where we really needed to grow independently. But yeah, I felt like my soul was like being ripped out of me.
It's crazy.
It was so painful.
My first love, I fell in love at like 14. And then we broke up when I was like probably 15, about to turn 16. I didn't tell anybody like that we were, it just was like falling apart, but it was very much of like a public, like our families we knew each other, whatever. Our families would see each other all the time. But yeah, my first love breakup was like terrifying. It was horrible. I was literally driving past his house and just stalking all his social medias, and the only way I ever got over him was that he blocked me. I literally was, Sammy, I'm serious when I tell you this. I was obsessed.
Oh.
Like screaming, crying, throwing up, 16-year-old, just got my license. Now what the fuck do I do with myself?
Yeah.
I have no choice but to go be a whore.
Yeah. Oh no.
But I'm so glad, like, to be real, I'm so glad I got it out my system at a young age. Like, I had no business doing what I was doing at 16, 17, 18 years old. But now that I'm 20 and the girls are doing what I was doing at 15, 16, 17, 18 years old, I'm cool off of that.
Yeah.
Like I'm really okay. You guys got it. You really got it.
Yeah, it's nice to be at a point where you are at your age. Like, you feel very ahead of the game.
I feel very ahead of the game. I feel like I've always, in high school, when I was in high school, I remember this, like, I have a core memory of this boy, one of my classmates saying, you're dating a boy in the upper class, like, you don't ever hang out with our class, you don't come to, like, our class parties, like, you're basically one of them. It just was like, I was like, what are you even talking about? But as far back as I can remember, I've kind of always just, like, all my siblings are older. I feel like I got an old soul. My mom told me I got an old soul.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. No, I feel like you do. That makes sense. It adds up.
That tracks.
And now you're like 20. I mean, educationally you're ahead of it. Emotionally, it sounds like you're ahead of it. But yeah, I feel like breakups within the Wheeling and Central community are so many fucking eyes on them.
And it's just like, I don't know.
Why does everybody care so much? Mind your damn business.
Yeah, I don't know if this is like a universal experience, but like that high school breakup, I had no friends when we broke up. And this what it was probably going to be like for you if you and Brian broke up in high school instead of being like grown adults.
Yeah.
All of my friends were his friends, so I no longer have those friends. My sports teams don't talk to me anymore. I'm like, I have one friend and it's the girl I grew up with. I'm like, what happened?
Crazy.
All of a sudden I'm getting called in the principal's office. I'm failing 3 different classes. I'm getting called to go to the guidance counselor. I'm like, guys, I have to restart. I switched schools and everything went up from there.
I need a button.
I don't know what, like, I don't know. I felt like,
that is crazy though, all your like friends abandoning you.
Yeah,
there's some friends terrible. That I know, if I look back on, there's friends that I know would have abandoned, and then there's like girlfriends that I know would not have. They would have been there with me. There's even some guy friends that I know like would have still been on my side, not on my side, but they still would have been very much my friends.
Nice.
But there are definitely like a couple girls that I can think of off the top of my head back then that we probably wouldn't have been friends afterwards. And that showed through too, like when we broke up as adults.
Really?
Those same people that I would be thinking about, the ones that probably wouldn't have still been my friend, they were the ones who knew and didn't reach out to me, whereas the other ones who would have been, they did. So it was pretty steady. Girls, don't abandon your girlfriends after they have a breakup.
No, literally.
That's literally your job afterwards, is to be their friend after something like that happens.
For you to pick a man who, like, I don't know. I guess it's circumstantial.
Yeah. Shouldn't have been.
Right.
Is there something right now that you feel like you see your friends just getting wrong in relationships? Like, what's the most common thing you see amongst your age group, acquaintances, friends? What are they doing wrong?
Chat. So, as a 20-year-old, me and
I
my
just
peers,
don't even know what dating is like for this age group right now.
Me and my peers, I'm including myself in this. Sammy, it's no dates. There's no dates. It's my generation is so quick to just, they're like greedy almost. I think it's what it is. Like, they don't necessarily want to commit, but jealousy is also a very big factor. So a common trend right now is just like sleeping with multiple people while you're you have like a main and then a bunch of different sides. That's a common trend. What I see a lot between me and like my small little friend group right now is a man will do us foul.
Yeah.
Disgusting, metaphorically push us on the ground, kick gravel on us, spit on us, throw a banana peel, and then fart on our face. Yeah. And then walk away.
Light it on fire.
Light it up, and then walk away, and we'll run after him.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
No.
And he'll be like, I just did all of that shit to you, and I'll do it again. Okay.
I love you.
Right, I love you though. Like, just when you're done, come home. Like,
yeah, honestly, that was the same for undergrad. For my single friends, would still, not all of them, but for some of them, the girls would literally have a main and then side, and then also the men would have a main and then side. But yeah, and then the same thing would happen. Like, they get treated like poop, but then he would be over at the apartment again.
I hate that though, and I'm still learning a lesson myself. But like, this happened with Ronan the other day, and I told her, I reminded her, I was like, bro, it's not even worth it.
Yeah, like, you're too good.
I know.
Remember who you are, ladies.
Oh my gosh, I can't see it for myself, but looking at my friends, beautiful, like goddesses of women. Why are you letting this little boy step on your toes?
Why
are you doing that?
Why?
Like, you can do 10 times. Like, what?
Yeah. Well, and same goes for you. You should not be letting men do any of that. Cause
it's just it's like women with straight hair always want curly hair.
Yeah.
Women with curly hair always want straight hair. You know?
Yeah. Wait, how does that relate? Wait, I lost the metaphor.
Just like, let me find it. So women with straight hair always want curly hair relates because it's like, you're always going to want what you don't have. Wait, it made sense in my head.
Yeah.
Wait.
No, just bring me down
You're always going to want what you don't have. And it's like, me personally, when I had curly hair, I was just so like, oh, my friends look beautiful. Everybody has straight hair. I want straight hair. So I'm going to keep making my hair straight. I'm going to keep straightening. I'm going to keep damaging my own curly hair, right? Now that I'm trying to get my curls back, I would shoot a fucking robin outside with a pellet gun until it falls out of the tree to have my curly hair back.
Oh my god.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It made sense in my brain.
Yeah, no, I feel that. Not in relationships, but I definitely was the same way as far as
curly and
burning my curly hair. But then I feel like once you find it and you're in the right place, you're like, no, this is what I wanted. I do want my curly hair.
And there it goes. That's how it relates again. Once you find it, once you realize like, I am worth the boundaries.
Yeah.
And why would I ever straighten my curly hair again? Why would I ever let my boundaries down again?
Yeah. And why would you ever date a man who is not going to take the damn trash out? Oh my gosh. It's a big thing for me. Take the trash out.
Wow, I can't wait.
Yeah. Where do you think it's okay to be approached by a man?
This is a good question because
there's a lot of discourse.
This is a really good question
about it.
Big topic is the gym, right?
Yes.
Huge topic is the gym. However, I just like, it depends on the way you approach me and if I think you're attractive.
Yeah.
And it just
I think
sucks.
that's the kicker.
And it sucks because it's like, how is a man supposed to know if you think he's attractive? Because me in the gym, you won't catch me staring at you. I promise. Like, I'm going to look at you, but you won't see me look at you. That's the big thing.
Yeah. Okay.
But like, if I think you're attractive and you come up to me real subtly, like, hey, I think that, like, I like your workout set, or like, hey, I like that water bottle, or like some real subtle compliment that's like, not, you're bad, or hey, I think like you look really good in them shorts.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I think so too.
Actually, I think that is a really good way to, because I think of myself, if I were single, a gym is probably somewhere where I personally would be interested, like, in finding somebody, because you know that they're interested in taking care of themselves, which is very important. But it's all about the approach.
I also am not in the gym, no matter how attractive I think you are, I'm not going to sit there and have a conversation with you unless I came to the gym with you. I'll sit down with Sammy and yap for hours. I've been to the gym with men. I'll sit down and yap in between sets. I don't, like, it doesn't matter. But if I didn't come with you or I don't know you, I don't want to talk to you for more than a minute.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you feel like you relate?
Yeah, I think so.
Even if it's like women, I just like, I'm here to get my workout in. If I came with you, then I'm like, already spending time with you, I'm okay with having
or
that chat.
if you want to come to Yap, like if it is just like a girlfriend and you want to come to Yap, because I probably will, I'll be there with you. I'll get wrapped up in a conversation I didn't mean to, but let me keep doing what I came here to do while we have that conversation.
I think I'm just a little too socially awkward to like, I don't think I'm that close enough to people. Like if I randomly saw Sammy in the gym, I'm going to continue my workout, take my headphones off. We can yap all day. You know what I mean? But like any other person, I don't know. I don't know if I'd be able to continue like doing what I was doing.
Yes. And that's the issue that I would find with being approached by a guy at the gym is if it went either way, if it went good or it went sideways, how do I continue my workout? Like you came up to me, it was great. We vibed. You have my number, we're gonna whatever, or you have my Instagram and we're gonna go on a date or whatever. How do I continue my workout afterwards? How do I
might have to leave because now I know you're here.
That's what I always
self-conscious.
Yeah, because now I'm thinking about it. Like now I'm thinking about you the whole rest of the time.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking that like I need to not look weird for the rest of this. Like I need to make sure a double chin doesn't come out for the rest of this workout. Like I need to make sure my form is impeccable for everything else that I do. I don't want you to see me watching my little YouTube video while I'm on the treadmill, you know? So I always thought if I was single, the best time would be kind of on the way out. But then I could understand how that would feel creepy to the guy, right? Because then they're kind of sitting around and watching, trying to figure out when it's time for you to leave, you know? So I don't know. But then let's say you're not a person who goes out to the bars, blah, blah, blah. Where are you going to meet somebody then?
I know. And I just saw this on TikTok the other day. They're like, if I don't participate in like going out and drinking, going out and partying, where the F am I supposed to find a man? Somebody was like, church. That could be a good place. Yeah, or the gym.
I think the gym makes
School,
sense.
maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
But then like it goes sideways and then you have the rest of the semester with them.
Facts. I love that opportunity though, because now I know I get to go to class and look good and you have to see me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because I'm excelling.
So you just have to rewire the way your brain works.
I'm excelling in my classes. These teachers know I'm excelling. They're going to call on me. Fuck, they might even bring me up in the front of the class and be like, can you explain this? Or can you like present this? Whatever.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
I got
You know what? Yeah.
I'm going to look good doing it too.
I'll wink at you in the audience.
Yeah. I don't know. So I feel like the gym has to be a place that you're allowed to approach, but I feel like you just have to read the room.
I think so too.
I think if it were me, if you could manage to find me when I'm at the end and doing cardio or at the end and stretching, that would be the time to do it. Or do it even better. It doesn't matter if I'm on my way out, do it on your way out.
Agreed. I think the best way to do it would be like seeing them multiple times. So say like I saw you in the gym for the first time, little smile, right? I'm purposely coming to the gym the same time the next day because I know you were there yesterday at this time, right? Okay, I see you again, little wave, right? That like third time, say something.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. Yeah, because then that way you've confirmed both parties are interested.
Agreed.
But when you do that full approach, like we're going to have a conversation and decide if we want to go meet up somewhere a different time, make sure it's on your way out or on my way out.
Agreed. I would, yeah.
And then
because if you come up to me and we whatever yap, and then you walk away, go back and do your set literally two racks away, I'm embarrassed.
Yeah, because then this is what does it for me too, is like even if I see like a girl that I'm acquaintances with or a guy that I'm acquaintances with, after we've had that conversation, like totally platonic, obviously, and then I pass you 30 minutes later and we're going to do different things. Do I wave again?
Right. I'm like,
and then I pass you again. Do we wave again? Like we've already acknowledged we know we're here.
This is why I don't even take my headphones off in the gym.
Yeah. So I'm not even sure. Did we get to an answer there?
I don't fucking know. Just like, I don't know.
Oh man. Have you ever done anything long distance before?
Not like officially. I've definitely talked about it. Definitely like explored the idea.
Do you feel like you could do long distance?
I feel like yes. I feel like as a teenager, no. Because now with the means that I have, I can buy myself a flight. The men that I would be interested in would buy me a flight to go see them.
Yeah.
Long distance wise.
People are haters on long distance.
Wonder why. How was long distance for you?
We ate it up, honestly.
Yeah? I feel like you guys were still together a lot.
That. Yeah. Honestly, and a lot of it was thankfully because of Brian. But when I went to Savannah, you know, and we did our little thing, but then we got back together. Brian was working, but I was still in my master's. So it was really easy for him to travel and see me. So he was there at least once a month pretty much. And thankfully Savannah wasn't too bad of a place to visit. But I mean, we didn't text all day just because, I mean, we were busy. This was his first year and his first real job. This was my second year in PA school. I'm grinding. We would just FaceTime each other at the end of the night, catch up, what's going on. Okay, love you, night, blah, blah, blah. I mean, we might be on the phone for 45 minutes, an hour. Mm-hmm. And then, again, next day we might not talk much, but we call at the end of the day. And then I was seeing him once a month. And I don't know, I didn't mind it, but there were so many things to be focused on. Like PA school's a huge thing to be doing. Mm-hmm. So I was so focused in that, and Brian was so focused in all of his endeavors. And then it was just like a reward getting to see each other at the end of the month. And then it was even a bigger reward once we got to live together. Yeah, I feel like it was really healthy for us. Because I feel like in that we got to continue to build that individuality that we had been building for that 4 to 6 months apart, while also rebuilding like what we had.
Would you say, because a big topic of like, I don't know, not a big topic, but like I feel like something I used to struggle with was having to like hear from somebody a lot throughout the day. Would you say that waiting until the end of the day, like with minimal conversation, made it more interesting? Like, would you looked forward to it a lot more? Like you because they say long distance is good for relationships because it makes the heart grow fonder, right? Like it makes you actually realize if you love this person or not.
Yeah. So
would you say waiting that all day to talk to your significant other was like definitely the right thing to do?
Yeah, because I think you have to, if you are in a situation where you have to do long distance, I think it's important that during your daytime, you're still building the life that you currently have. You're still maintaining and building the friendships that you have there. For me, I was still getting my education and focusing and locking into that rather than worrying about what Brian's up to. What did Brian eat for lunch? How many sales did he get today? Did he see so-and-so? I'm not worried about all that until the end of the night, and we talked and caught up. I'm also very fortunate in the fact that like I just know Brian's a very loyal guy and Brian's very fortunate in the fact that he knows that I'm a very loyal girl. We've never had issues of like jealousy. We've never even gotten remotely close to having concerns with that, so we're also very lucky. And plus, I mean, if he wasn't a loyal guy, I mean, I'd be hearing from somebody if something happened, right. You know? So it's just not something we had to worry about there. But yeah, I think it definitely like makes the heart grow fonder. And then that time that you get to spend together over that weekend or that week is very special. And you get an opportunity to really learn about each other just because you're having very intentional conversations. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
But yeah, now that we live together, I'm happy. But I don't look back and like regret that I had to go somewhere else for PA school. I think it was the best thing that actually did happen to us and myself. So what's your definition of love?
When I was in 8th grade, Kate Callasy, you know who that is?
Yeah. She was at my lunch table. We had the best lunch table in high school.
Anyways, Kate Callasy came to my middle school in 8th grade and interviewed anybody who wanted to participate. I don't know what it was for, but she was obviously at Central, and she came in.
What year was it? What year was she?
I was in 8th grade. I graduated from 8th grade.
Oh, so
like 2018, 1921 too. Yeah, because I graduated high school in 2022.
Oh, so she would have been in college.
Oh.
We graduated in 2016.
Oh, okay. We sat down in the parish office and she put a camera in front of us and she asked us what's our definition of love, and she came in and gave us like the question before we sat in front of the camera, so we had a couple minutes to think. And I think my 8th grade self said, love is when you would do anything for anybody or something like that.
Oh, that's so
something
sweet.
Like that.
I think that's like,
I think
I would
still stand on it.
Yeah, because I'm sitting here thinking about like, what would I say it is? But I think the same thing. You would do anything for that person. And I know you love me if I can just like fully be myself without any concerns for like repercussions as a result of just like being myself. I can trust you. If I ask you to take the trash out, you're going to take it out.
I know I'm loved when I can get in the car and not even think twice about making the little weird noises that I make with you.
Yeah.
Or like the little, like I barked in Q's face and you didn't even blink. Like,
yeah.
I literally was, what's the word? I was shadow boxing like near the fridge yesterday. And Davey was like, did you get him? I was like, yeah, I did. I did get him. That's love.
That is love.
Yeah, she doesn't even think twice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I think we should call this episode Relationship In-Law Style.
Yeah. That's good.
Okay.
And I feel like ending on that positive is like a good way to go out with it. Unless you have anything else to say.
Nope.
Okay. I saw your page. It looks like you just wrote down relationships and nothing else. It's just blank.
I forgot to prep.
That's okay. You guys were doing them for a while.
Yeah, real bad.
Yeah, that's okay. That's what today's Sunday?
Yeah.
That's what Sunday's for. But speaking of what this whole episode was inspired by, and we've already talked plenty about her, but the woman of the week I did this week was Emma Chamberlain.
Oh,
we haven't done her, right?
I don't think so.
Okay, I couldn't remember if we had done her. Like,
I don't know. We might have done Faye Webster twice too.
That's okay. We just
both of them.
Love them.
Yeah.
But I did Emma Chamberlain, 23 years old. She's a Gemini. And then I kind of went on a rant of like her numbers, because she has numbers. So she has 14.9 million Instagram followers, 480.7 thousand TikTok followers, and 12.1 million YouTube subscribers.
Wow.
Yeah. She's currently the host of Anything Goes and owner of Chamberlain Coffee. Have you ever had her coffee before?
No, have you?
No, but I've always wanted to try it.
Yeah,
maybe we should order it sometime.
I wonder if they have it at Target.
I wonder.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like retail or not, or if you just have to get it off her website.
Good question.
But Target would seem to be the place.
Facts.
But she has been a Louis Vuitton and a Cartier ambassador. They're normally who like dresses her for the Met Galas when she goes.
She's so hard for that. Like what?
Crazy.
23-year-old ambassador of Louis Vuitton.
Yeah.
Hosting the Met Gala.
Insane.
Shut the fuck up. You can't. And she's over here, and like the internet thinks she's pressed about a boy.
Yeah.
No,
she's booked and busy. Yeah. And I feel like other than makeup moguls, like that type of influencer, she's like the only other influencer that I feel like really broke through that wall of like being.
I think she's a really good example of, she's one of those influencers that was famous when she was a teenager and is famous now.
Yeah, she's maintained relevancy.
Yeah, 100%. And I think she's pivoted really, really well.
Yeah.
I think she's grown into herself really, really well.
Yeah, which is very cool. But she's been hosting those Met Gala red carpet interviews since 2021. But yeah, she's known for her vlogs, relatability. She's big on sustainable fashion and thrifting. I remember like some of the first videos I was seeing of her was like, of course, the Sister Squad era, and then
she had that real high bun, and
yeah, and then I remember, because I'm definitely a person who will go for comfort YouTube videos, so those ones that like you just go back to when you need something on. And I used to always replay like her Paris Fashion Week YouTube videos and her Coachella videos, and now she drops a vlog when it feels right for her. She keeps her podcast up and going, sells coffee, which is pretty amazing. That feels like really fulfilling a dream of hers.
I agree, because one of like the first memories I have of her is watching a vlog. She's opening up her kitchen fridge, making a nice coffee.
Yeah.
In like her dad's house. Like,
yeah.
And now she has her own home, and one of her bedrooms is her walk-in closet for her. Like,
yep. And she was on the Architectural Digest YouTube. I don't know if you ever watched those. I love those YouTube videos. They just do house tours.
Oh, but I have seen it.
Yeah, normally it's like, you know,
there's not Jenner,
a lot. There's not a whole. It's a lot of actors and like, it's not a whole lot of influencers.
Kendall Jenner did one. Yeah, you're right. Now that I think about it, I think it is a lot of actors.
But Emma Chamberlain was one of them. And her house, it was beautiful. I mean, it's probably one of my favorite ones on Architectural Digest. But yeah, so we'll make her the Woman in the Week. She's pretty amazing.
Shout out Emma.
If
you want to come on the podcast, let us know.
I would be so nervous.
I just like, I don't know if it's going to be good as a setup as yours, Buki, but
yeah.
Okay, chat.
That was today's episode.
I hope everybody's staying strong. Happy New Year.
You know what else I had looked up was Reddit dating horror stories.
Really?
I fully forgot about that.
I don't think anybody answered our Instagram anyways.
Yeah. If you guys want a part 2 to this, let us know anything and everything relationship wise. Best advice you've gotten, worst advice, scary dating experiences, horror stories, worst pickup lines, etc. But yeah, that's everything. Thanks for watching.
Bye, guys.
Good night.
We'll see you later.
Ooh. Oh. Ooh. Get it, Gia. Hey. Show me the doggy. Hey. Can you teach me how to doggy? You know why? Because all them girls love me.